our chat together. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, everyone, please welcome in Coach Laura. Coach Laura is our newest coach on the Fit and Fulfill team. And we're here to kind of like let you guys get to know her, a little bit about her, what she has in terms of experience as a coach, and just like let you guys see what Coach Laura is about. So Coach Laura, I'm actually, before we start, if you guys are watching this live, please put down hashtag live squad. And if you are watching the replay, please put down hashtag replay squad. And if you're already on the Fit and Fulfill team and you have Coach Laura as your coach, please write down a nice little compliment about your experience of working with Coach Laura. That way everybody else can get to know her as well too. But that being said, Coach Laura, I'm gonna kind of let you take it away and let everybody kind of get a little bit of you and understand you. So if you don't mind sharing us a little bit about you, that would be great.
All right, so as you can tell, I have a different accent to probably a lot of you here. So I am from the UK, I'm from London. I am reaching 40 this year, so I'm probably one of the older coaches on the team. So I am reaching 40 this year and I don't have any children. I'm married, got a little puppy called Ralph, got a little French bulldog. Lived in the UK, I enjoyed traveling, done a few road trips around America. So that's really like the personal bit about me. Married, no children, live in England, turning 40, love traveling.
When did you travel around America and what were your favorite places to visit? I didn't know this about you.
Oh, right, okay, so we did a road trip a couple of years ago from Vegas all the way up to San Francisco. So we stopped off, we did Vegas, LA, and then we stopped all up the coast, up the Big Sur, drove all the way up to San Francisco, and then flew back to the UK from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all the way from the UK to the west side of the US.
Yeah.
And then went up and then went all the way back. You didn't even see my side.
No, there's so much more that we want to see. And I did the itinerary myself. Like I literally just picked where we wanted to stop. But yeah, and we've done like Florida, New York, loads of other places in America too. But yeah, we absolutely love America.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's so funny. It's a lot of people will say that they go from the US and they want to visit Europe and this and that. And then the Europeans are like, well, we want to visit the US too.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been more of a, whenever I travel, I've only recently started going international with my travel, but kind of just going to like the closer places like the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Mexico, like things near me, but I've yet to make it across like the other side of the ocean. That
you need to spread your wings, Jen.
I know. I'm very new to traveling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't travel as a kid, and I'm very like in the past couple of years, I've had the opportunity. So I've kept it close, something easy for me to do, if that makes sense.
Step by step, little by little.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So can you share with us a little bit about, because you are a coach, so share with us a little bit about your coaching experience. Like I obviously already know your coaching experience and everything, but share with everybody else. Tell us a little bit about like who you've worked with, maybe some of your specialties, what are your certifications, things like that.
Okay, so certifications, I have my OFNC, which is the Online Fitness Nutrition, Precision Nutrition, FNMF, I always get this wrong. FNMS is a mouthful, right? Mm-hmm. So that's functional nutrition, metabolism, specialization. I got my pre and postnatal certificate as well back in 2016, along with my personal training certificate. So I've been coaching since 2016, personal training, and then I jumped into the nutrition side in 2000 and I always get this wrong. I think it was 18 or 19. So I think it's 4 years now. So yeah, 2018. I started doing one-on-one like personal training. And then when COVID hit, that's when I built my own business and I just started working for myself, built up a good client base. And then I just realized that, you know, I don't know if I want to run my own business because there's so much involved. And for me, I was literally born to be a coach. It's what I love doing. It's where my heart is. So, you know, I just decided that this isn't what I want to do. I just want to coach. hence why I joined Jen's team. So did you ask me to talk about like who I want to work with, those type of people?
Who you have worked with.
Okay, so I've worked with a lot of women who have struggled with their relationship with food, feel that they've been like dieting nonstop, just constantly like under eating, and then maybe like having the odd YOLO day where they're just going over. So women who just feel like they've just spent their entire life dieting and they're still unhappy in their body, got a poor relationship with food, poor relationship with their mind, zero confidence, and just don't know what to do from there. So what I do is I love putting women through like a restoration phase where we go through the phase of like restoring their metabolism, hormones, and setting their body up for fat loss, because without that phase, you aren't going to lose weight. You know, that you can only lower calories so much. And the more we lower calories, the more that we end up binging. And then you're just going round and round in the same circle. So I love helping women get out of this cycle by restoring their metabolism, their hormones, repairing their relationship for food, and laying that foundation so that they can lose weight on more calories, with an improved relationship with food, so that it's something that they can maintain going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, I'm just going to throw this in there too. Something that I love about you is you said you were born to be a coach. So you very much have that, like, on that personal side, that love of coaching, love of getting to know people, like really getting to know people and the women that you want to coach. And they're not just a number on like your roster or on the team with you by any means. And then number two, just based off of like your training and your education, you were an engineer, correct? And so you are, she's like, yeah.
It's so boring. It's so boring, Jen. Like, honestly, yeah. I worked in engineering for like 14 years. I got all of my certifications, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but he's never going to watch this video, but my boss was so sexist and he wouldn't make me an engineer. He said like women shouldn't be engineers. I got all my certifications because he said, Laura, if you get all your certifications, I'll make you an engineer. So I was like, right, I'm going to do that. I went and done that. And then he just was like, no. So I said, so I just left. After 14 years, I left everything and just started my own business.
That's incredible.
But it was the best decision. I really want to go and find him now and thank him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am now.
That's funny. But so you do have that very like logical, very like science and math like based knowledge as well too. So like for you, when it comes to like women and weight loss and being able to make sure that they're on the right plan and protocol, like that really does come in handy for that. But also being a coach, I always say coaching is like an art, because you have to deal with people, and I don't want to say like deal with people, but like humans are complex and they have emotions. And so that can sometimes get in the way of being able to follow through with like the logical side as well too. So you have that good balance of both, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love building relationships with women. A lot of my clients have stayed working with me for like over a year. Just I think building and understanding women, like that's one thing, like understanding people's backgrounds, their behaviors and things like that, is something that I'm really interested in. I like to get to know my clients, and kind of be like an outlet for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because you mentioned that, you said that most of your clients stay and work with you for over a year. May I ask you, so how do you think that leads to their success? Because at the end of the day, we always want to make sure that somebody can be successful in making sure that they lose the weight and that they can maintain it for the rest of their life as well too. But we also know that women want to lose the weight fast and they don't want to have to diet forever in order to get the weight off or keep the weight off, etc. So with them working for you with like a year or more, how do you think that leads to their success at the end of the day?
The ones that have stayed with me for like 8 to 12 months, these are the women who had a really poor relationship with food, and their body was in like a really bad spot. So we spent time going through the restoration phase, healing like their metabolism, their hormones. And then what I found a lot of the time is these women were enjoying this phase so much of like eating more food, like not gaining weight, but actually eating more food and feeling so good that they were like, can we just hang out here for a bit, Laura? Like, I don't actually want to lose, I'm not that desperate to lose weight now, because I actually didn't realize how bad I felt before. And now I feel so freaking good because I've got energy. I'm sleeping through the night. I mean, all of the foods that I used to just deprive myself of, that I'm happy to stay in this phase for a bit longer, and then we go into the cut.
Yeah.
So they kind of might have stayed in that phase that bit longer, and then we go into the cut, and then afterwards we reverse calories up at the end. So that kind of takes a bit of time as well, where I teach clients how to maintain their weight.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And then as well as that, there was another question that I had as well too. We mentioned the restoration phase. We mentioned like restoring their metabolism, and that you have your certification with FNMS, which is Functional Nutrition and Metabolism Sciences. Yeah. How has that certification been able to be like useful for you in the restoration phase and restoring the metabolism for clients?
Yeah, we kind of did a deep dive into like metabolism, thyroid, like I learned so many things about how the body responds to constant dieting, especially when women eat low carbs for a long time. That affects the thyroid, can even affect like your sex hormones. So like learning all of that was super, super helpful. And I kind of feel that it's made me like a bit of a pro in this area, because I can spot what's going on straight away just by looking at somebody's like biofeedback, how they eat. I kind of understand that where things are going wrong, what needs fixing. But yeah, doing that course was super, super helpful. And there was also an application side to it as well, where we had a load of cases we had to work with to pass the exam. It wasn't just like a multi-choice exam. We actually had like client cases that we had to deal with. So that was super helpful. I think it took me like 8 hours to actually complete the exam. Yeah, so it was super, super helpful. And I've got all of the information here as well. You've got like, did all the printouts, so I've got like books and books, so I can just refer back to things if I need to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And I know I went through a pretty similar course as well as you, so I can only guess what your course was, but I do know that both of our instructors were actually colleagues together working in the same environment. So that's really cool as well too. Even though they're separate courses, covers a lot of the same things, and it really does make you a pro. And I know that a lot of like women out there, they go through dieting and they don't understand like why they're not losing weight. They've hit that plateau. They're like, well, I'm eating low carbs, like my calories are down. I'm doing all this exercise, and they're just like, why can't I see the results?
And just feels stuck, and then they don't want to eat more, because it's like, well, but I've got weight I need to lose. So if I eat more, so I'm just going to kind of eat less, and then nothing's changing. They're still not losing weight. It's so frustrating for them.
Yeah. And so like just being able to have the knowledge that we do have, like it's so easy. I wouldn't say easy, but like it gets easier, or it's easier for us to like clearly.
It's easy for us because we understand why it's happening and we know how to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that takes time and effort to learn. And I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that don't have that much time to like invest in all this as well too. So it would be super helpful just to get straight to the point, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've been studying, well, I've been studying for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I know you mentioned who you've worked with in the past. It's I just put my face really close to the screen there. But I know who you've mentioned, like you've worked with in the past, a lot of like yo-yo dieters, a lot of people who have been restricting, been like, dieting for basically their entire life, but not seeing the results. And actually that's like the same clientele that we typically have on the team. Where like that's most of our clients right there. The ladies who are actually like, 40 plus years old, actually getting into that menopause place where they've been dieting their whole life and they still haven't seen results. And, at this point, they're just kind of fed up. And so like, they just finally want to feel good. Or along with that too, it's the women who have been able to maintain and keep like good results and whatnot. But now they've hit perimenopause and they're like, where's this weight coming from? Why is this happening now? So knowing your experience of who you've worked with in the past, who is it that you want to work with most as clients? Like what kind of individuals?
I mainly work with women who are, I would say, 35 plus. Maybe it's because I'm in that, I'm 40 plus now. So I don't usually work with women who are like early 20s. It's mainly like from 35 to my oldest client. Actually, I'm working with a woman at the moment who's 68. And, she's 25 pounds down since Christmas.
Amazing.
But sorry, I've gone off a bit there. I've kind of gone off subject. So yeah, so I mainly work with women who are 35 plus, women who have hit a plateau. Love working with women that have hit a plateau. These are my favorite clients because I know I can help them. Women who don't have the best relationship with food, like women who feel that they've been dieting forever, like on and off the diet constantly, maybe jumping into an extreme diet, losing 10, 20 pounds, but then gaining it back and just not having the knowledge or the education to like understand what they need to do long term to keep that weight off.
Yeah, absolutely. And so whenever it comes to these women that you want to work with, like as you mentioned here, what is it that you want them to achieve at the end of the day? If you could be a coach, the best coach ever, and get them to X result, what is that result that you want for them?
Okay, so first of all, the first thing is I want them to be educated on the science behind weight loss and weight maintenance. Like that's number one, because without that, you're not going to keep that weight off long term. So, I want them to feel educated. I want them to feel confident about the process. And I want these women to like feel empowered. I want them to learn how to lose weight in a way that is sustainable, maintainable, like results that last. That's what I want for everyone. I don't want my client to lose 20 pounds and then 6 months later she's gained it back. That's not what I want. I want my clients to lose weight. And I actually catch up with a lot of my clients now, like who have kind of finished working with me like over a year ago. And I'm proud to say that the majority of these clients have kept that weight off. And that's what I want. Like that's what I want for everybody. I don't want my clients to be dieting again next year or even in 6 months time. I want them to feel empowered, have the education, and feel confident, know what they need to do going forward to maintain that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then may I also ask with that, you want them to be able to do it on their own, so they don't have to follow like a specific protocol specifically. They don't have to restrict themselves to like certain foods or certain supplements, etc., in order to maintain it. Like it's just a lifestyle at that point, correct?
Yeah, they understand and they don't have to waste any more money or time on any other diet product out there or anything, because they know everything.
Yeah,
it's just easy for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And I'm sure everybody here would like to achieve that result at the end of the day too. Mm-hmm. Laura, may I ask you, is there anything else that you would like to share with anybody who is watching this?
Probably just that I'm really happy to be where I am right now. I'm super happy to be part of this family now. It was a big step for me, stepping away from my own business. I won't lie. I felt like a bit of a failure for stepping away from my business, but it was the best decision I've made in a long time because I'm doing what I was born to do, and that's coach. I wasn't born to run a business. I'm not as great as Jen. Like I don't have the traits that Jen has to run a business, but I do have the traits to help clients, to coach women, and that's what I'm here to do. So that's really all I want to say, is that I'm just really happy to be here, and I want to thank Jen for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy to have you here. I know the whole family is happy to have you here, and the clients, like I said before, that have that you're with on the team as well too. They're happy to have you, and they're like enjoying working with you so much so far. So I'm really excited about that. Awesome. Well, for anybody that is watching at this point now, if you would like to work with Coach Laura, we are going to drop her application in the comments below, and you can apply to work with Coach Laura directly by going through that application, and we will be in touch to get a hold of you and make sure that you guys are paired up and ready to go. But Laura, thank you so much for coming on here and chatting with us, and we're very excited to have you start taking over some of like the weekly education lives so that you can give like trainings for all the ladies here that are watching and keeping in touch on Facebook. And yeah, we're just happy to have you here as well too. So
thank you.
I hope that you have
to be here.
Oh, thank you. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk later.
All right, Jen. See you
Thank
soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.